Task Shri Manmeet Singh Lumba, Assistant Director, Directorate of Censors, Office of Registrar General. A very warm welcome to Mr. Manmeet. Today in this training, we have Dr. Mutub Dorje, Director, Urban Local Body, Mr. Stanzin Rabges, Executive Officer, Municipal Committee Leh, all the medical, block medical officers of Leh Block. We also have Medical Superintendent SNM Hospital and members from Municipal Committee Leh and Urban Local Bodies. A very warm welcome to each one of you. Today, Mr. Manmeet Singh will give us training on ORGI software for civil registration system in UT Ladakh. Sir, I would like you to please start the training.
Basically, I'll also watch for some time. UT was created and central laws became applicable here. We were, doing the registration of births and deaths under the J&K Births and Deaths Registration Act. So where the hospital or any health officer there or any person who was designated, so he would issue the birth and death certificate depending upon the feedback from the allied hospitals, or even getting information privately or from the cremation grounds, burial grounds. So in the burial grounds and in the cremation grounds, there was a system of maintaining a register from where you would get that document, and then they would present it to the concerned registration officer, who was generally in the municipality. And outside the municipal areas, it was the SHO concerned. So he was the registrar. So this system was there in the J&K, and till very recently, because I around 1 year ago, I got one birth certificate issued from the SHO Kargil. So till very recently we were doing it. But now, as the civil registration system has become applicable to us, and under the civil registration system, the registrars, the government of the UT administration has, under the Act, they have appointed the Chief Registrar, who is the Secretary Health. Then they have appointed additional Chief Registrars, who is the Director and the Director of Urban Local Body. Then they have appointed District Registrars, who are the CMOs, and then the Registrars, who are the BMOs. So this is the hierarchy, and it has been notified under the Act. So you are thereby statutory authority for the purpose of registration of births and deaths. So, and this has been done under the various sections, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are few sections which say that the government will appoint chief registrar, the government will appoint the district registrar, government will appoint the registrars. So under the sections of that act, it's a very small act, but this is these are the statutory powers. So this is a statutory function. Everybody has to do this function. It's a statutory. It's an obligatory function. It's not that you may register, you may not. It's an obligatory function, and the obligation is that you have to do it within 7 days. I think that is the standard. So every BMO, and people who are connected, maybe this is today for only Leh. You will be going to Kargil also. So please ensure that you are thorough with this software, which you would use in recording the births and deaths and stillbirths, God forbid if any are there. So that is the importance of this workshop. So I thought that as a chief registrar, I must be with you to emphasize the importance of the work, because when we were reviewing it around a year ago or 6 months ago, because the Government of India, the Census Office, they always monitor what is the, how many deaths have happened, how many births have happened. And I found that in Kargil, the births have not been reported even 1.5 years after the child was born, or the baby was born. So that was a huge gap. Maybe the people, birth certificate you may not need very urgently. Maybe because I think there hardly any function of that particular certificate, because you would require it when the child gets admission somewhere. But death certificate is so important that you require it the other day. Suppose if an employee is there and his no pension is to be settled or his documents are to be settled, or if there is a private person and his insurance claims are to be settled, and after that some property claims, everywhere they will ask for the death certificate.
Beginning my session with a presentation on the civil registration system, I would also like to tell you that two of my esteemed colleagues from Delhi have joined, Mr. Digvijay and Mr. Akbar, assistant directors in IT, who have been the brains behind developing the software. So any doubt which I am not able to clear, I am sure they will be able to tell you in more detail. So I will start with the civil registration system. As you can see, the civil registration system is handled by the Office of Registrar General of India, which comes under the Ministry of Home Affairs. And the logo of the civil registration system is also very unique. There is a diya which signifies death, which signifies birth, a start of a new life, and there is upside a person in fetal position, which so both of them combined sort of represent birth and death, which is the main objective of civil registration system. In other countries, civil registration system includes birth, death, stillbirth, marriage, separation, divorce, and adoption. But in India, for the time being, we are just having birth, death, and stillbirth as part of civil registration system. And the essential feature of the civil registration system is that it is universal, that is 100% coverage, it is compulsory, it is a continuous process, and once recorded, it is a permanent record in the Government of India. All birth and death is compulsory. The Registrar General Office is tasked with the aim of coordination and unification of the implementation of the Act across the entire country. The provision of birth registration is there even without the name of the child death certificate. Correction or cancellation of entries can also be done. Issue of pointed out that under the amendment the period has been reduced to 7 days. Then there is provision for these are certain provisions. I will go through them quickly because no need to go in such detail. In all, there are 32 sections in the and along with an affidavit made before a notary public or prescribed authority. And after 1 year of occurrence, only after an order of the first class magistrate or equivalent authority. So the more the delay is, the higher the authority you have to approach for registration. Section 14 allows for registration of name at a later date. Section 15 allows correction and cancellation of entries, and it is to be proved to the satisfaction of the registrar that entry is correct in the register which is kept in his office. So the main role, even in the software we will see later, is that the main role is always of the registrar. He is responsible for correct entries also and for approval also. We will see in the software. Birth or death. If it occurs within the country, then there are 3 places where it can occur. It can either occur at home, it can either occur in an institution like health facility, jail, etc., or it can occur outside both these institutions, home and any registered institution. And this virtual cycle will continue.